If you've ever sipped a gin and tonic, winced at the first taste, and wondered why anyone would willingly drink something so sharp and bitter, you're not alone. That distinctive bite comes from quinine, a compound extracted from tree bark in the Peruvian jungle. But here's something that might surprise you. Tonic water wasn't invented as a mixer. It was invented as medicine, specifically a malaria cure that kept British soldiers alive in colonial India. The gin was added later, just to make the medicine go down. Somewhere along the way, the cure became a cocktail, and nobody told you the dosage changed. So what's actually in modern tonic water? And is any of it still good for you? To understand tonic water, we need to go back to the 1600s. European colonists were dying in tropical regions: Africa, India, Southeast Asia. Malaria, spread by mosquitoes, was killing more soldiers than actual combat. It was a crisis without a solution. Then Jesuit missionaries in Peru discovered something remarkable. The indigenous Quechua people had been using bark from the cinchona tree to treat fevers for generations. The missionaries brought it back to Europe, and chemists eventually isolated the active compound, quinine. By the 1800s, British colonists in India were given quinine powder as a daily preventive dose. But there was a problem. Quinine is brutally bitter, one of the most bitter substances humans can taste. So soldiers started mixing it with sugar and carbonated water to choke it down. That mixture became known as tonic water, literally a health tonic designed to keep you alive in hostile territory. Then someone had an idea. British officers began adding gin to their daily tonic. The botanical flavors masked the bitterness. The alcohol made the medicinal ritual more enjoyable. And just like that, the gin and tonic was born. Not as a cocktail, but as a more pleasant way to take your malaria medicine. The empire didn't just spread colonialism, it accidentally invented one of the world's most popular drinks. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Modern tonic water is almost nothing like the original. The quinine content has been slashed to a fraction of the medicinal dose. A typical glass contains around 20 milligrams of quinine. The therapeutic dose for malaria? 500 to 1,000 milligrams. You'd need to drink 25 glasses of tonic water to get a single medicinal dose. The quinine in your gin and tonic isn't treating anything, it's just flavoring. What fills the gap? Sugar. Lots of it. A standard bottle of tonic water contains roughly the same amount of sugar as a cola, around 32 grams per 12 ounces. That bitter taste tricks your brain into thinking you're drinking something medicinal, something healthy. You're not. You're drinking a soft drink with a pharmaceutical aftertaste. The ingredient list tells the full story. Carbonated water comes first, then high fructose corn syrup or cane sugar, the main ingredient by weight after water. Citric acid adds tartness, natural flavors provide complexity, and quinine appears last, because there's barely any in there. Some brands add citrus extracts or botanical flavorings to round out the sharpness. Premium brands might use real cinchona bark instead of synthetic quinine, giving a cloudier appearance and earthier taste. But the sugar content remains essentially identical across the entire category. The FDA actually limits how much quinine manufacturers can put in beverages, not because they want to preserve the authentic flavor, because too much quinine causes dangerous side effects. Irregular heartbeat, ringing in the ears. In rare cases, a blood condition called thrombocytopenia. The original colonial medicine was effective but risky. Modern tonic water is neither effective nor risky. It's just bitter sugar water with a fascinating backstory and excellent marketing. But wait, there's a health claim most people still believe. You've probably heard that tonic water helps with leg cramps. Quinine was indeed prescribed for muscle cramps for decades, but in 2010, the FDA banned quinine for that purpose. The risks outweighed the benefits. The amount in tonic water is far too small to have any therapeutic effect anyway. The sugar content actually makes tonic water worse for you than plain soda water. A single gin and tonic can contain more sugar than a glass of orange juice. Here's where it gets strange. Shine a black light on tonic water and it glows brilliant blue. Quinine is one of the few consumable substances that fluoresces under ultraviolet light. This isn't just a party trick. It's actually how 19th century chemists first studied fluorescence. Tonic water helped scientists understand how certain molecules absorb and re-emit light. That bitter mixer in your cocktail has a secret double life. Colonial medicine, accidental cocktail ingredient, and chemistry lab specimen, all in one fizzy bottle. So, what should you actually know? 3 facts for your next cocktail order. First, tonic water is not sparkling water. They look identical, sound identical when opened, but tonic contains sugar and quinine, while sparkling water is just carbonated water. Ordering vodka tonic versus vodka soda means 120 calories versus 0. Same drink experience, completely different nutritional impact. Second, the quinine content is medicinal theater. Enough to create the distinctive bitter taste, not enough to treat or prevent anything. Any health benefits are a century out of date. Third, the bitter taste is doing psychological work. It tricks your brain into thinking you're consuming something healthy or sophisticated when you're actually drinking flavored sugar water. If you want the gin and tonic experience without the sugar, look for diet tonic with stevia, or use sparkling water with lime. You lose the quinine bitterness, but skip the glycemic spike entirely. So next time you wince at that first sip, you'll know what's in the glass. The ghost of colonial medicine diluted into a soft drink dressed up in a cocktail. That's the process. We reveal how things actually work, one story at a time. If there's something you'd like us to explore next, let us know. Until then, trust the process.